Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
I'll speak on one verse from Bhagavad-gita. Satatam kirtayanto mang yatantascha jadavrataha namasyantascha mang bhaktya nityayukta upasate. So, in this verse of Bhagavad-gita, Lord Krishna mentions about how great devotees are always engaged in kirtan of Krishna. Kirtan means to glorify. And Bhagavan, Krishna, he is the proper object of glorification. It is a natural tendency to want to glorify someone who we consider greater than us. Sometimes people complain, why are you so much concerned with glorifying this Bhagavan? But if we don't glorify Bhagavan, then we'll glorify a film star or a cricket star or a politician or like this. They say, why are you spending so much time for worshipping God? But we find people are so foolish and low class in the modern age that they spend so much time looking after their dog. So who should we glorify, God or dog? Bhagavan. Yes. Everything we do, that produces an effect. In physics we learn that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So this is true on the subtle level also. Physics itself is of the three, physics, chemistry, biology, physics is the most subtle of the sciences, dealing with energy. But apart from the energies that can be perceived by the gross senses, there are also many subtle energies at work within the universe. Towards the end of his life, Albert Einstein said that after studying science all my life, I just have one question. How did God create the universe? And in his famous disagreement with Niels Bohr, who was a famous Danish physicist who was propagating quantum theory, Einstein said, I do not believe that God is playing dice with the universe. So the idea that everything is simply going on by chance is very unscientific actually. In science, we study how everything is interrelated. What are the laws of the universe? So if there are laws, and then we say, well, we see everything is so ordered, and then we say it has come into being by chance, it doesn't make any sense. So for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That pertains also to our activities. That is called the law of karma. So what we do and what we think in this human life produces reactions. Just like, for instance, there is this Sanskrit word, mamsa. You say that in Tamil, mams. Mamism. So, mam means unto me, and then saha, he. Me, he. This word comes. That means that now I am eating the flesh of another being, and in future he will eat me. So those who eat flesh in a future life, they will have to take the body of goats and chickens and all this and be eaten. Everything we do produces a reaction. So how should we act in a manner that is favorable to our actual progress? That Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad-gita, Urdvanga chanti satvastha. Those who act in sattva guna, they go up. Madhye tishtanti rajasaha. Those who act in rajagun, they stay somewhere in the middle planets of the universe. Jaghanya guna vrittisto adhoga chanti tamasaha. Those who act in the abominable mode of ignorance, they have to go down. That's why previously in India people were very afraid to commit sinful activities, because they know you'll get a bad reaction. Krishna similarly states in Bhagavad-gita, Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitri vrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinoti mam. Those who worship the devas, different demigods, they will go to the demigods. Those who worship the pitris, they will go to the pitris. Those who worship ghosts, they will become a ghost. And those who worship Krishna go to Krishna. So this process of Krishna Kirtan, sometimes people think, well, that's just for not very intelligent people. But actually it's meant for the most intelligent people. When one has gone through the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, then he has to come to Jnana Kanda. And then when one is full in knowledge, then what does he understand? Bahunam jannadamante jnanavam mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabhaha. Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad-gita that after many lifetimes of cultivating jnana, one jnani may understand that Krishna, Vasudeva, is the source of everything, all in all. But such a great person is not available everywhere. Not everyone understands who should be glorified. If we don't glorify Krishna, then we'll glorify, like I said, film stars, politicians, sports stars, cats, dogs, chickens. We become foolish by not glorifying Krishna. So the most intelligent people glorify Krishna. You may say, well, how is that? It doesn't require much intelligence to chant Hare Krishna. That isn't it better to study all the Vedas? Rig Veda to Sama Veda, Yajna Veda Piyatarvanaha, Athitas Tena Yena Dvam Harir Ityaksharadvayam. It's understood that one who chants these two aksharas, Ha-ri, that by doing so, they have already studied all the Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajna Veda and the Atharva Veda. Well, how can we say that? We see little children, they're chanting Hare Krishna. Sule, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Now, that by chanting Hare Krishna, that means already studied all the Vedas. Now, how can we say that? Because all the Vedas are meant to teach us to love Krishna. Vedaischa saveraham eva vedyo vedanta krit veda vedeva chaham. Lord Krishna speaks in Bhagavad-gita. So, even if one hasn't officially studied all the Vedas, if one is chanting Hare Krishna, he has the same result. And one who is chanting Hare Krishna, it's understood that in previous lives, they have already executed all the Vedic activities. Aho vatas vapachato galyam yajjivade bhartate namatubhyam tapas te juhubu sasnaraya brahmanucha nama vinantiyete. We find in the Sankhya description of Sankhya Yoga by Lord Kapila Dev in Srimad Bhagavatam, his mother Devahuti speaks this realization. Brahmanucha nama. She says that even if one is born in a family of dog-eaters, we don't have dog-eaters in India now, much. We have pig-eaters and chicken-eaters, but we don't have dog-eaters. But anyway, she's giving the example of someone from what's considered a very low background. So one may be from a very low, what's considered low birth, but if that person is always chanting the name of Krishna, we should know that in a previous life, that person has executed all the pious activities mentioned in the Vedas. Such a person has executed all kinds of tapasya. Such a person has visited all the holy places, tirthasthanams. Such a person has studied all the Vedic literature, performed all the different rituals. And that is why having gone through all these things, has come to the highest point of chanting the holy names of Krishna. It's not by chance. Now we see so many people all over the world are chanting Hare Krishna. That means in previous lives they must have been performing pious activities. Now I may say, well, how is it that someone is chanting Hare Krishna, they may be born in a family of dog eaters or something like this. How is that possible? That is possible because the laws of nature are very subtle and it's difficult to predict exactly why or where someone should go after leaving this particular body, because every moment we're performing different activities, and so it becomes very, very complex to understand. But sometimes even Krishna arranges for his devotees to be born in superficially low families just to show that birth in a high family is not a prerequisite for worshipping Krishna. Now I became very happy to hear, Akinchan Krishna Prabhu told me that this... Oh, he's gone now, Pujari? The Archaka? I see. So in their family, they've been worshipping the Lord for 48 generations. So this is very wonderful, this is glorious.
8 generations, this.
8 or 48. Anyway, the point is that they've been worshipping the Lord in their family for. But even without such a good background, from any situation, if anyone takes up Krishna Bhakti, then we can immediately connect with Krishna. This is one wonderful quality about Bhakti, that you don't have to go through many preliminary stages. You can immediately we can execute Bhakti. Because Bhakti means the relationship of the Atma with Krishna, Bhagavan. And that is a natural and eternal relationship. And even though, due to the influence of Maya, we have forgotten that, we can immediately revive that relationship. So chanting Hare Krishna is glorification of Krishna. And it is the means by which we get in contact with Krishna. It's just like nowadays you have the cell phone, and theoretically from any place you can contact someone else in any other place. But sometimes the other person's cell phone is turned off, or you're out of range or something like that. Or the money you put in has run out. But by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we can always get in contact with Krishna. He's never turned off. And Krishna is never out of range. You may think, well, I don't have enough money in my account. It means we may think, well, I'm too sinful to chant Hare Krishna. But even if we are from a very sinful background, if we chant Hare Krishna sincerely, Krishna will hear that. That doesn't mean we should continue sinful activities. And naturally, anyone who's chanting Hare Krishna, then they don't perform sinful activities. You naturally come to a higher level of consciousness. But what it means is that even if we've done many bad things, when we come to Krishna sincerely, then we get a clean slate, new start. And that even children like to chant Hare Krishna doesn't mean that chanting Hare Krishna is just something for unintelligent people. They may not understand all the philosophy behind it, but that they like to chant Hare Krishna is not just because of some childish proclivity, but because it is the natural propensity of the soul to glorify Krishna. And because of some pious activities in previous lives, they're now getting the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna. And devotees of Krishna, they travel in this world to encourage people to chant Hare Krishna. The propensity to love Krishna, to glorify Krishna, is there in everyone's heart. It's not that your religion, my religion, no, everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Some people realize it and some people don't. Mostly we don't, because we're in the world of Maya. So devotees of Krishna, they go everywhere and just remind people that we have our eternal relationship with Krishna. That is our real existence. Whatever we are doing is temporary. Whether we are Prime Minister of India or a street sweeper, it's a temporary position. There are 84 lakh species of life. For a very short time we get the human species. And again we have to become a cat, dog, tree, mosquito or something like that. So we may think, I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am a politician or whatever. This is all temporary. Tat kalaka, kshanik, just finished, very quickly. Kshana bhangura, just comes and goes. Those who are older, they can remember when they were jumping around like children, but now those days are gone and won't come back. We were young children and then became a little older and then gone away. Where have we gone? We don't know. So while we have this valuable human form of life, we should try to understand what is the actual purpose of life. We put so much emphasis on preparing for the future. We send the children to pre-KG and then KG and then school, and then to college. Practically 20 years is spent in education to prepare for the future. But whatever position you may get in future due to education or whatever, that is kshana bhangura, it is finished very quickly. So we should understand that our future extends beyond the tenure that we have within this body. Our future is not just how long we will live, but our future goes on eternally because we are eternal Atma. So why not prepare for our eternal future? That we should do by chanting Hare Krishna. This is the best guarantee for the future. This chanting of Hare Krishna means that our future will be very good. Sometimes people come to me and show their hand and say, can you see what is in my future? So I look and say, if you don't chant Hare Krishna, it's going to be very bad. And if you do chant Hare Krishna, it'll be very good. I don't know how to read the hand. Hastareka, I have no idea actually. But that is true for everyone. Whatever your karma may be, whatever your karma phal is due, if we chant Hare Krishna, our future will be very good. And if we don't chant Hare Krishna, our future will be very bad. Because if we chant Hare Krishna, whatever our past karma or whatever our karma phal is due, and then we go to Krishna, all the karma phalam gets wiped out. And we go to Krishna to live in the Satchidananda avastha. And if we don't chant Hare Krishna, then we may become Brahma, Indra, some big position, Prime Minister, CEO of a big corporation. Or we may become a dog or a cat or a worm in stool. But whatever situation we have in this material world, it is simply full of suffering. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha doshani darshanam. An intelligent person should see that in this material world there is birth, death, old age and disease. This is suffering. Therefore an intelligent person chants Hare Krishna for our own best benefit. Everyone in every situation can chant Hare Krishna. We don't say that first of all you have to take sannyas. No, not required. Grihe tako, bone tako, sada hari bole dako. Whether one is a grihasta or whether one is a sannyasi or whatever situation we be in, we should chant the holy names of Hari. That will give us the highest benefit of life. Of course, this is a very great topic. The whole philosophy of Krishna consciousness is very vast because we're discussing Krishna, who is everything. So, for that purpose, we request you to study the books of Srila Prabhupada, which will help to understand what is this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Chanting Hare Krishna is very simple, but there's a great philosophy behind it. So we should understand this philosophy and make our life successful by chanting the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So we have some books available, no? And if anyone has any question they would like to ask, please ask. You have small books also, or only big books? All the books. Did you bring that new edition of Message to Youth here? Any questions, please? To clarify the subject matter.
She is asking that if we chant Hare Krishna, whatever the sinful activities we are going to commit, we will stop committing sinful activities. But whatever we did, anyway we have to suffer, isn't it so?
Yeah, please say again in Tamil. In Bhagavad-gita, Lord Krishna says, Sarva dhamman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja aham tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayashyami ma shucha. By surrendering to Krishna, we become free from all sinful reactions. But some token might still remain. Not exactly sinful reactions. But Krishna may act through the material energy to help his devotee become fully surrendered to him. So it might appear that a devotee is subject to sinful reactions, but we should know that a devotee is never subject to sinful reactions. For instance, if a devotee becomes sick, we shouldn't think that that's the same as an ordinary materialistic person becoming sick. A materialistic person, his sickness is karmic reaction. But for a devotee, he understands this is sent by Krishna to help me understand that this material world is miserable and I should fully surrender to Krishna. And to test, is our bhakti real or not? If there's some difficulty, then that's a test. Are we really attached to Krishna? We'll serve him even in difficulty. And the difficulty is on the higher level of devotees that demonstrates what is the quality of their bhakti. For instance, if Hiranyakashipu had not tortured Prahlad, then we would not have known what was the quality of Prahlad's bhakti. Any other question?
Prahlad is the Avatara Purusha. Are we like that?
Yes, say again in Tamil. Well, Prahlad is a great personality, but he's a jiva, we are also jiva. So he's showing the example that we should follow. He's a much greater personality than us, no doubt. But then the tests he had, the difficulties he had were much greater than the difficulties we are having. So, with our much more minor difficulties, we should remember his example and take full shelter of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare